18-year-old Jaquan McKinley, whose rap name was Chii Wvtzz, was pursuing a drill music career on social media and streaming platforms, but there was hard competition from the streets.
In early February of 2022, the New York City drill artist known as Chii Wvtzz became the latest in a long line of promising young talent to lose his life on the streets of the Bronx. Beginning in January of that same year, the rap industry would see the passing of Houston artist Sad Frosty, followed soon after by the shooting and death of Florida-based artist Wavy Navy Pooh, who was attacked while driving around with his two kids in Miami. Then came the attack on Tdott Woo in New York City only weeks before the death of Chii Wvtzz. And while these murders are all seemingly unrelated, they follow the pattern of young rap artists losing their lives long before they've ever really gotten the chance to go mainstream. It's a devastating chain of events that needs to be ended, and the only way that we could potentially do so is by understanding what happened in the first place. So on today's episode of Before They Were Gone, we will investigate the rise of Chii Wvtzz, as well as what led to his senseless murder. Teenage rapper Chii Wvtzz was born Jaquan McKinley on March 20th, 2003. This New York-based artist was working hard to pursue a career in drill music when his life was brought to an abrupt end. His mother's cousin would tell the Daily News after his death, he had a very kind heart and he had a passion for rapping. Music was something he was passionate about. The oldest of his mother's children, when asked, other family members would describe Jaquan as a positive role model for his younger siblings and someone who came from a good family. For a short period of time in his early life, Jaquan lived with his father in North Carolina, somewhere that his cousin now wishes that he had stayed. But in hopes of becoming the world's next big rapper, Wvtzz inserted himself into the heart of the booming drill scene that was gaining more and more notoriety in the New York City borough known as the Bronx. Now before we get into the music side of things, let's address some of the rumors floating around out there about this kid's past, while also making it abundantly clear that as of right now, these are exactly that, rumors. The consensus online is that Wvtzz was once aligned with the Bronx-based crew known as the YGs, but apparently something happened between them, and this young man causing Wvtzz to bounce and join another crew known as DOA, leaving behind a ton of bad blood and friction in the process. Having now teamed up with other DOA members and aspiring drill artists like K Flock and Dougie B, she got to dropping music with a ton of local support with titles like Sanctioned, Blitz'em, and Demons over the course of about a year of prolific activity. The only problem, outside of an explosive music scene, the violence unfolding on those New York City streets is equally as combustible.
Put that on, bro. You didn't run.
Look. You can't talk to me. You don't put on, brother. Gangster, bro.
You don't know what I did. You don't know what I did.
Don't rap about shit you don't do.
You don't know what I did, bro. Words about everything I rap about I did, bro.
Just ask Chii's associate, K Flock, who in December of 2021 was charged with the deadly shooting of the 24-year-old Oscar Hernandez at a Harlem barbershop. Even Wvtzz found himself in trouble when he was arrested and sent to juvenile detention sometime in 2021. Despite the sentence, Wvtzz was allowed to go home every weekend to spend time with his family, and that's how he still found time to release new music. At the tail end of January 2022, Chii would release his collaboration with D Hunna 100, perhaps somewhat ironically called All the Beef. It would be the last song that he ever dropped while he was still alive. In the early hours of Sunday morning, February 6, 2022, Chii was working inside a Brooklyn-based Airbnb turned recording studio. Sometime around 2:15 a.m., he stepped outside and climbed into a parked car with a female associate. Only a few moments later, Wvtzz was ambushed when another car pulled up right alongside them and opened fire in a targeted attack. Upon hearing about what happened, his father, Perry Williams, hoped beyond hope that his son would survive, telling Fox News, "My first reaction was, he's a strong boy. He's gonna make it through."
Then that was at 2 o'clock. Then 2:39, I received another call, which was from a doctor to tell me my son was dead.
Unfortunately and tragically, he did not. After being told about the attack only moments after it happened, within half an hour, Perry was receiving another phone call from a doctor telling him that his son had died. Shortly after the tragedy, someone identifying themselves as Wvtz's best friend and who goes by the Instagram handle of Jamira Ingram would alert the rest of the world to what happened, in a since-deleted social media post writing, "I never thought I'd be writing RIP next to your name no time soon. I love you always and forever." The New York City Police Department would later reveal that his death was still under investigation and authorities were still trying to surmise if it was indeed gang-related. Meanwhile, Perry Williams would go all in on attacking the Bronx-based music scene in an interview with Fox 5, calling it,
"That drill is the devil's music. It's nothing but murder, death, kill, drugs, everything, the whole ingredients for us to lose."
And considering what had happened to his son, I think we can all understand why he might feel that way.
Our hip-hop is no longer hip-hop anymore. And now, if you're not doing drill, you're not going to get no play.
But not everybody was here to celebrate his life. There were others who took to social media to mock what had happened, including his former friends turned rivals, the YGs, who quickly jumped on live within an hour of his death to get their say in.
Chii got hit. Chii got hit. Chii got hit. Chii got hit. Chii got left on the back. Chii got left.
He said that's a fact, I'm about. But the nigga that chased me is dead in my split, so tell him to get back to the split.
Tell him to get back to the split.
You smoking on a child. He pick up, I'm gonna be running. Bro, that's
smoking
crazy.
on
He pick up the phone, I'm running. He pick up the phone, I'm running.
And in a bittersweet coda to the end of his life, Wvtz's buddy K Flock would drop a music video to one of Chii's songs titled Head Pop over on Flock's YouTube channel, which would go on to become the biggest solo hit of the now deceased rapper's career, earning Wvtzz over 2.5 million views in just 3 months.
Man, that's sad though, man. Like I said, like his flow, everything's so clean in the song, man. That fresh sample, that was the chef kiss on top of this shit, man. But it's like, you know, the tragic side of this shit, man, it just leaves us with, you know, what could have been. And I saw, like, when I typed his name in the search, I think he got a song with K Flock and them too, man. I might have to check that out, man. CHII, I hope Wvtzz is the correct term, man. CHII Wvtzz, Head Pop.
Feels kind of wrong that video is on K Flock's channel and not Wvtz's own, but maybe it wouldn't have gotten those type of numbers without that placement. Was that viewer count inflated by the tragedy that preceded it? Of course it was. But it also goes to show you that this kid had real talent and potential. He just sadly never had the opportunity to really prove it.
If K Flock was home, my son would be alive right now. You know what I'm saying? I hope and I pray every day for K. I pray that he comes out of his situation a winner. Because that young man put the Bronx on his back and he carried everybody, put his whole team on. I respect K. Salute to Mama Flock as well. You know, it's just weird. It's a bad feeling when you're starting to think his own people did it to him.
Our thoughts and well wishes go out to Jaquan's surviving family members during this unbelievably difficult time, and let's hope that by drawing attention to this crazy amount of violence that's unfolding in New York City right now, the Bronx in particular, that other talented up-and-coming artists begin to move differently and learn to watch out for themselves. My name is Clyde Smith, and I'll see you guys in another video. R.I.P. Chii.